Hi guys, it's Frank with Tiny Plastic Spacemen, and this is the second video in the Warlord Titan Super Mega Build. This one is unboxing all of the weapons and the exclusive Warhammer World Forge World Head that you can only get at Warhammer World. So enjoy! Okay, and here we are for part 3 of the Warlord Titan everything unboxing videos. Yeah, so this is the second, I believe, video in the series where I'm going to be, in this video, finishing unboxing everything. And then we'll, the next videos in the series will be me basically just going through the build. Yeah, so these are all of the weapons that are currently available for the Warlord Titan. I'm going to unbox them all in this video. We have the Warlord Titan Ariok Power Claw. We have the Titan Apocalypse missile launchers. You can never go wrong with having Apocalypse as part of the name. We have the Bellicosa Volcano Cannon, which sounds pretty cool. Another Bellicosa Volcano Cannon. You know, always good. So there's actually one box that we don't have to do because we'll be doing one of those. The Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator. Great name. Love that one. And the Titan Laser Blaster. Not really finishing on a high with that one, but still, it should be good. So I'm going to get to all those in a bit. Let me just find somewhere to put them, and we'll start with this, which is the Beta Warlord Titan Head. I believe this is the Warhammer World exclusive head that you can only get at Warhammer World, because why not? Why would you get anything else if you're, if you have access to Warhammer World? So yeah, we're going to start with that. Just going to get all these other ones out of the way and we'll dive right in. Okay, so I decided to just go ahead and reset the camera just a bit so I have a little bit more elbow room. But yeah, here we go. Starting with the Mars Beta Warlord Titan Head. So I've unwrapped all the boxes, so there's minimal plastic crinkly sounds that will come through on the video. So hopefully that will be appreciated. Yeah, so that's what the finished version looks like, and it does come with different shields for the front. I love this is not a toy. Well, it kind of is, really, It's a very expensive toy. But yeah, so there you go. You've got the Princeps, Maserati, left and right Maserati. And there we go. It's fairly simple, but it's cool that there is an interior, and I've seen, the examples I've seen from Forge World, they have one of these that is like fully painted and mounted on a plinth, and the top is magnetized, so you can pop it on and off pretty easily. So always good to go through the instructions. And of course, I do have a video series that shows you how to prep and work with all your resin models. So please check that out. Just had to detach our kitten from the box that all this stuff was in. But yeah, so here we go. You can see the size of the head. There's the top of it. So it's a pretty good size. It's going to be about the size of my fist. And let's see, there's yeah. You can see how these join up once the casting gates are removed. And then there you got your viewing screen, so you can obviously put as much detail into this as you want. There's the two shields. These are quite square shaped. They look pretty cool. Obviously, there's, I think each head comes with its own shape of shield, or I'm not sure if this particular one is the only one that comes with these shapes. I don't know. But there it is. And there's the pivot point for the head. Of course, you can glue or magnetize that as you wish. And there is the floor. Let's see where the Princeps. He is seated. Of course, you can get the model of the standing Princeps with the Titan team to sit at the foot of the, or to stand at the foot of the Titan if you wanted. There's the Moderati. Obviously, that's an extra Forge World model set of models. Is that? I think that was in there as well. Yeah, and then there's the sides of the head itself. So, yeah, something like that. You get the idea. There it is. Fits like that. Right. So, not going to spend too much time on each individual thing, but I am curious myself just to see the pieces and to make sure that they're obviously there's no glaring pieces, obviously missing. Because if I check every single piece, this will end up being quite a long video. And I imagine it's already probably going to be fairly long. So, just going to pack this one up. That's the Beta pattern head. And we'll move on to the Apocalypse missile launchers. Now these are the alternate carapace weapon. And you can see how these will fit there. So instead of the triple laser blasters at the top, you have loads of missiles, which is pretty cool. Each individual missile is modeled separately. So, okay. Interesting. 24 missiles in each one, and you can see that they're mounted on a sprue, so it's not really that bad. It is funny though. I think it is cool that you can show that like a couple have been launched, like it's in the middle of battle. Because, not every, you can't expect every single model to be coming straight from the rearmament centers. So there we go. That is one of the missile launchers. That is a hefty chunk of resin. Wow. And again, if you wanted, you can drill that out, because you imagine like the rocket itself would be about that long, or the missile. Yeah. The casting gate's already cut off, and imagine this is obviously going to be the other one. So here you go. Obviously that's not going to be warped, it's a gigantic chunk of resin, but still got to have a look at it. And then the bag. Lots of rocket heads, missile heads, I should say. And so there we go. It looks like there's going to be pistons that go there. So basically you glue it in place probably at about that angle because you want them to kind of shoot up instead of down. I think the rule is, at least with the lasers, you can't actually, if you get too close, you can't actually shoot with the laser. So I don't know if the rule's the same for this. And there's the back end where the rocket flames come out. And those are identical pieces. So, yeah. Those look like they're all there. Let's just wrap those up. Right, so now we've got the Titan Laser Blaster Mars pattern. Again, yeah, not the coolest sounding name, but it's going to be huge. I mean, look at it. It's gigantic. It's longer than any tank that you might have in your army. This is the triple lasered thing. These are the sort of the original carapace weapons. So we've seen the rocket launchers that would sit there, and now these are the sort of, these were the first carapace weapons that were available when the model was released a couple of years ago, 2015. So yeah, these are the triple ones. These are the ones that they actually, if you have guys or tanks or a knight or something at the bottom, Karn, you know, at its feet trying to attack it, you know, with a chain axe or something like that, these actually can't shoot at it. But of course you can be stomped on, you can be shot with the arm weapons and the twin las cannons at the in the armpits. Yeah, so very large gun. Obviously there's two. Yeah, very big, very big, very big. And there's pistons and cabling and stuff like that. They do say, depending on the position, you're going to have to bend possibly the cables, which is to be expected. Yeah, so let's open, well, let's open the big bag, because this is just, these are huge guns. And these aren't even as big as the arm weapons. So there's the power generator, the cooling fins, or heat sinks, or whatever they call them. There's the base. So again, these are going to be drilled out and magnetized, just like the same thing for the missiles. So we have quite a bit of mold line. Don't know if it's going to be called slippage, but yeah, it's easily rubbed away with a mold line removing tool. And how's that going to sit? That's going to sit roughly, if this casting gate wasn't there, that would be able to just sit right there. And I'm going to have a look at that. That looks pretty straight, really. This one looks maybe a little bit bent. Hard to tell. Be able to tell better once we have the weapons on. Obviously, this is where the triple blasters go, and that is the pivot. And those pistons go there, so that can pivot up and down. Obviously, again, not too far down, but they can pivot up and down. So yes, quite large, very hefty, much big, many damage. Right? So put that away there. Right, so these are the individual gun barrels. Laser blaster barrels. So you get 3 per gun, and you have this sort of a triple mount that fits in between each barrel, something like that. Or maybe there, somewhere. And yeah, so they'll kind of pew pew shoot you. Yeah, so mildly surprised at how few actual parts there are. There's very few parts in this particular kit. So we'll move on to the next one. And there we are, the Warlord Titan Auriok Power Claw. Now, if you've had, I believe, I'm not sure if the Deredeo actually comes in a box like this, but I think the Leviathan Dreadnought does. So this is the same size as the Leviathan Dreadnought box, I think. So, there you go. That is what the Power Claw looks like. And of course you can model it however you, it's a left hand, so you can model it however you want. I imagine if they get enough demand for it, they'll make it a right hand, because this will be modeled in 3D, so you can literally just mirror image it and have, I think it's just going to be this main body that would have to do. There's one of the option heads that you can get. Again, the whole model itself doesn't come with the head piece, so that is one of the option heads. This one is not really my favorite one. Possibly the beta one, the beta pattern one is the cooler one for me anyway, but obviously it's all down to your own opinion. So here we go. There's the main piece. Actually, I think you can make this a right hand if you wanted, because that is it's a mirror image of itself already. You see, it's exactly a mirror image. And that is going to sit, where's that going to sit? Something like that. So I love that they modeled all this in there, and then it just gets covered up almost completely. So, yeah. Oh, we haven't looked at the instructions. Always look at the instructions first. Don't follow that example. Yeah, so shim to be removed. Claw tips, fingertips, thumb base. Vulcan Mega Bolter, always a fan favorite. Yeah, so it actually even tells you can be placed to the left or right depending on which side you want the weapon to be located. The example built in this guide is for the left-hand side. And just like your fingers, there's the tip, the middle knuckle, the bigger knuckle, or first knuckle. I don't know what which is the nomenclature for all the various finger pieces. Finger tarsals. Is that right? So here's the fingertips. Look at that. I mean, that's taller than 2 Space Marines. Just the tip of the power claw. Amazing. There's various slightly bent hydraulic rods. Whereas I'm looking for the tips of the Mega Bolter. Or not the tips, there we are. Yeah, big guys. Yeah, interesting. Pretty cool, and that's the generator for that piece that I was reading. Alright, yeah, so pretty cool. And again, I am looking to see if there's any glaring problems with anything that's would need to be reshaped or anything like that. That is quite a chunky piece of armor plating. If that was thinner, that would probably, at that size, would probably be a little bit susceptible to problems. I love that it has basically just 2 gigantic guns on the top of its hand. Alright, so we're going to put this away and carry on. Hey, boo-boo. Right, so here we go with the second to last weapon that we're going to be looking at is the Warlord Titan Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator. I mean, this has got to win for the coolest name of all these weapons, right? Okay, so we're back to the normal bubble wrap. We've got lots of cabling. This is the plasma gunny looking thing. You can tell I'm a real fluff nut. Yeah, so there we go. It's those. We've only got one of those to build. Yeah, and I like the fluff that's written there, the narrative bit. Those are always pretty cool. Yeah. What would be super, super cool is if some of these parts were molded in like a clear resin and then get some lights in there. That would be super cool. That I can do. I'd love to see some lights with that. Get one of those 16.7 million color LED strips in there, and yeah, that would be sweet. Alright, so won't nerd out too much. Try to. Okay, so let's look at... Geez, this is a big piece of resin. There's that main piece that fits inside the elbow. It's a conch. And then all of these pieces fit together. And make a cross at the back end somehow, somewhere. There it is. So all of these kind of fit around this. Is that right? I think the tip of the gun is in here somewhere, maybe. Might be imagining things. And that's the back. Imagine these are like the plasma flowing bits. Is that the back? That's definitely the front there. So this, I don't know. Obviously, I'm getting a bit lost, but yeah. It was very, very, very cool. It's not my favorite looking gun, but you know, now it's in my hand, it is actually really cool. Okay. So we'll just put this away, and here we are with the small bag of small parts. These are possibly the smallest parts we've seen so far with all of these Titan bits. Is that the tip then? Maybe not. I think it's the back. Lots of cables. I'm not sure what that is. It's definitely bent. It's probably not meant to be like that. But that is, I mean, dip that in some hot water. There's the tip of the gun that I was been looking for, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So that is the Sun Fury Annihilator, I think. What's it called? Sun Fury Plasma Annihilator. Should have known that the ribbing on the gun pieces there. Should know it's a plasma something or other. All right, the last gun, but we're only going to look at one of these because these are identical. I will look at the other one off camera, but just to show you guys what the Bellicosa Volcano cannon looks like, we're going to open just one of these boxes on camera. All right, so here we go. Get this open. Several pieces to this and a clear box. How about that? Lots and lots to it. I haven't mentioned this yet in the unboxing videos, but this Forge World, their official guide to building resin model kits. It does come. I think it's come in all of the boxes, or most of the boxes I've opened so far. This is really, really good guide. I should have been saying this from the beginning of the video, but yeah, my video series is actually based on this. That's how good this is. So it basically just goes through all the tools that you should have on hand, or actually, you know, at least be able to borrow. Make sure and have a look at that when you're going through this. So here we go with the Bellicosa Volcano cannon. Again, 2 is kind of the standard armament, and they're pretty strong. If my buddy is buying 2, that means they're really good. I'll put it like that. Yeah, so there's a lot of shielding pieces, so these might have some warpage to them, especially these pieces here. But should probably okay. Yeah, very good. So I just think it's interesting that it comes in the Specialist Games box. It's not just Specialist Games, it's the Blood Bowl metal teams are coming in those as well. Yeah, so there's one of the armor plates. So it looks reasonably straight. That is fine. There's the main gun. Again, it's nice and thick. It's not going to really warp, is it? So it's not that big a piece, not that big and long a piece. And here's the back end. And that will be all the cooling bits. That looks like a shim that just will break off. That's fine. And more there. And then you just chop it off. So that looks a lot like the other plasma guns. Plasma Sun Fury gun. The back end of that. And here's the main body of the gun with the elbow pivot. It looks like that cooling piece fits there. And the main gun fits there. And then you paint that, and then put on the painted armor pieces. So it's all good. Surprised this, maybe they ran out of bags on the day they packed this. I don't know. Interesting. So that looks pretty straight to me. Doesn't look like there's any issues with warpage or anything, so that's very good. It looks like some of the issues that I've seen in other Warlord Titan builds have been resolved, or either I'm missing them, or who knows what. They just didn't occur on the day that this was cast. And then here are the smaller pieces. Okay, so there's a definite piece that needs to be bent back into shape. See how warped that is. I mean, even compared to the identical piece, which is also warped, but this one's warped way more. Yeah, and then there's the end of the gun, the business end, as they say. So anyway, that is it for this unboxing video series. Hope you enjoyed it, and you'll check out the rest of the build. There's a lot of work ahead of me. I'm not going to start with the weapons just yet. Maybe to break myself in, I might do the head or something. I don't know. But I do need to crack on with this build, and I'll probably start with making the base. So yeah, we'll see how we get along with that. I have an idea for how it's going to go. Again, things not going to be stepping on anything or running or in a crazy pose or anything like that. I was joking I'd do like the superhero landing pose, you know, from Deadpool, where, you know, you land, oh, it's really tough on your knees. It looks really cool, but yeah, it's obviously a joke. That I'm not going to do that, but yeah, so it should be interesting. Should be a lot of fun doing this build, and so I hope you follow along with the journey. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. So there we go, that is everything unboxed for the Warlord Titan build. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please be sure to give us a like, you know, as many thumbs ups as you can. Share it with your friends on the forums and social media. Don't forget to check us out at tinyplasticspacemen.com, TPS Painting Studio on Instagram, and of course we're on Facebook. Just search for Tiny Plastic Spacemen. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I do read every single comment, and I do try to answer to every comment. Remember that you can also subscribe to us on YouTube. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.